Hi, this is James Tabletop Gaming Guild, and today we're going to take a look at Spicy, which is a 2 to 6 player card game published by Heidelberg Games. Now, in this game, you're going to be trying to bluff and challenge your way to victory. And you're going to be doing this by playing cards and challenging other people's cards that they place and gaining those stacks to gain the point for each card that's in the stack. And you're also going to be trying to gain these trophy cards by completely shedding your hand. And if you get 2 trophy cards, you just immediately win the game. Otherwise, it'll be the person with the most points at the end of the game by the cards that they got in their trophy or in their hand or through the trophy cards themselves. So let's go ahead down to the table here, and I'm going to show you how to play Spicy, and then we're going to come back and I'm going to give you my final thoughts. All right, so this is Spicy, and once upon a time, 3 big cats became exhausted of fighting to be the top cat. They agreed to quit the fight and spice up their 9 lives with a hot spice eating contest. Alas, everyone was soon cheating, so the cats invented a very hot and often tearful bluffing game. So in this game, you're going to have a couple different things. You're going to have 100 spicy cards, which are going to be here. You're going to have 1 World's End card, which is going to be right here. You're going to have 3 trophy cards, and you're going to have 3 spice up cards. Now these spice it up cards here, you're not going to use until you've played the game a couple times, and we'll go over those guys in a minute. Now, in this main deck here, you're going to have 3 different suits, and you're going to have some wild cards. Now, the wild cards here, so since I have 2 wild cards showing up right at the top, I'll show you right now, are either going to be every spice. So there's going to be 3 different spice, red, blue, and green. So you're going to have hot peppers, pepper, or wasabi. So this can be any pepper, but this can be any number. So there can't be both for these wild cards, but they can be one or the other. So you'll have the red, green, and blue suits, and those suits are going to go through 1 through 10. You'll shuffle up this deck here to set up the game. Then you're going to take this World's End card. And the way the World's End card here works is you're going to take a look at your player count. So if I have 2 players, you're going to slide it into the deck where that arrow is. If I have 3 to 4 players, I'm going to slide it into the deck where that says. If I have 5 to 6, I'm going to slide it into the deck here. So I'm going to go ahead here, and I'll slide the World End card in there. So that's how that works. Then you're going to put out your 3 cards here, which are going to be your 3 trophy cards. And like I said, you're going to put the Spice It Up cards off to the side here. You'll go ahead and deal 6 cards out to each player here. All right, and you can take a look at your cards here. And the youngest player is going to go first, or you can pick whoever you want to have go first. All right, so how do you play the game? Well, on your turn, you can either play a card or pass. Now, if I play a card, the rules for playing a card are this, and it's what I say, not necessarily what I put down. So to start a stack, so there's no stack right now, a 1, 2, or 3 has to be played, and I have to say the number and the spice. So in this case, I could say 2 wasabi, and I'll put that down, or 2 green. Then the next player can take their turn, and they can either play or pass. So I can play any number here that is larger than that 2 wasabi, and it's supposed to be larger and a wasabi. Now, I do have a bunch here, so I could play the 3 wasabi, or, maybe I could want to get rid of this card, and I'll say 3 wasabi. Now, as long as I don't get challenged, which anyone can challenge me at all until another card gets put on top there, the next player will go. Now, I'll look at my hand here, and I'll say, oh, I don't have much in here. I'm just going to get rid of this wild card, and I will say 10 wasabi. So now what happens? So it goes back to this player here, and if no one challenged them, we're going to keep going here. And now a 1, 2, or 3 needs to be placed on top of that 10. So I do have a 3 wasabi. I'm going to go ahead and say 3 wasabi. Now my opponent is thinking, you know what, you haven't been drawing cards, so you don't have a lot of cards, so I'm going to challenge you. So what do you happen when you challenge? Well, when I challenge, I have to pick a trait. So I either have to say, you lied about it being wasabi, or you lied about it being the number. So I'm going to say, you're going to lie about it being wasabi. So we're going to go ahead and flip that over. Oh no, It was both the correct type and the correct number. So we're only paying attention to the type since I said it wasn't wasabi. Now what happens? So we reveal the card and we see who won. As challenge winner, I get to if I was right, so let's say they played this card instead, I get to collect the entire stack. But I didn't win the challenge. The opponent won the challenge, so they collect the entire stack. As a challenge loser, I'm going to have to draw 2 cards. So these cards, that the stack that you gained here is going to be 1 point each at the end of the game. So these stacks are really what you're aiming for, and you're trying to bluff to get those stacks. So I made it seem that this player made it seem like they weren't playing a card correctly. So this player took the bait and they gained the cards. Now cards in your hand are going to be worth negative 1 point each, and the other way that you can get points in the game is, let's say we're going to continue on going here, and I run out of cards. So if I run out of cards, I get to get one of these plus 10 cards here, and I draw back up to my 6 cards here. If I can do this twice before this deck run, before the world end card comes up, I will win the game immediately. So if you get 2 of these plus 10s, you just win the game. If I only have 1 of these plus 10s at the end of the game here, I'll just use that to add to my score. The last thing you can do on your turn is, instead of playing these cards out here, you can pass. And when you pass, you don't play a card out here, you simply instead draw a card. So you can build back up your hand if you wish. So this game is all about getting rid of the cards in your hand and trying to get these plus 10s here, trying to win these stacks and gain points. So for endgame scoring here, I'm going to add up all the cards that I gained from my stacks here, add any of these plus 10s in here, and then subtract a point for any of these cards, every single one of these cards in here. So if I have 6 cards in my hand, that's negative 6 points. If I have 6 cards in my stack, that's going to be, I don't, but let's say I did have 6 cards in my stack, that would be 6 points. So then that's 0, and then plus this 10 here would give me 10 points, and I'd have 10 points at the end of the game. Now, ties in this game are going to be friendly, so anyone that tied at the end game scoring will also win. So it's just simply the person or persons with the most points at the end of the game wins. All right, so that's how you're going to be playing Spicy. Now, there's going to be Spice It Up cards, and you can play with these different Spice It Up cards to change the way the game is played. So if we take a look at them here, you can play the We Love Chilies card. That's going to be this one right here. So the We Love Chilies card is basically going to be, if you legally declare 1, 2, 3 in any spice, you may declare chili instead of the required spice. So I could say, so if I'm supposed to be playing wasabi here, I could say chili instead, 1, 2, and 3. So it makes chili sort of like a Trumpish sort of wild card in the game here. Then we also have Start It Up, which is going to be this one right here. So Start It Up is going to be after 8, 9, or 10. You also declare a 1, 2, or 3. The spice may not be changed. So I can also, if I play 8 or 10, I can get rid of a second card, which is pretty cool. All right, so the next one we have here is going to be called Change Your Luck. When you declare 5, immediately add up to 2 extra cards from your hand under your 5 card on the spice deck. Then draw that many cards from the deck into your hand. These extra cards are not affected by the challenge. So basically it's a way that I can sneak more cards in and get them out of my hand so I could get better cards into my hand. All right, so the next one here we're going to go is 6 equals 9. And that's going to be Turn It Up. You can declare 6 as 9 and a 9 as a 6, basically how that one works. We also have Spice Raider. So Spice Raider right here, if you declare 4, put your paw on the spice stack. Unless your card is challenged, you win all the cards under your paw. As soon as the next card is played, the game then continues with only the newly played card in the spice stack. So that's pretty neat for that one. So the last one we're going to go over is Copycat. And Copycat's basically like anyone, once you play a card, anyone else can say that they have the same card and place it on top. Now, you should do this one in turn order because it can get a little chaotic, but anyone can challenge at any time. So when you put it down, try to give enough time for someone to challenge if they want. So that's how Copycat works. So those are the spice it up cards, and you can add them to your game there so that you can had more variability and have a neat little sort of bluffing addition to each game. So that's going to how you play the game Spicy. Let's go ahead back up the table here, and I'll give you my final thoughts on the game. All right, so that was Spicy. Component quality for this is amazing. The Heidelberg games really have great component quality for their cards. I love the metallic backs of these cards, the beautiful art in these cards. They are amazing cards here. The gameplay for this game is, if you like bluffing games, going to be an amazing game. This is going to be a game all about your ability to trick your other players into doing what you want them to, whether it is challenging you or not challenging you, and trying to get those 2 trophies before the end of the game, which will happen at the World's End card on there. Now, I don't think I actually showed the World's End card when we did the how to play, but the World's End card is a pretty neat card too. Like the art on these cards is really, really good. I like the spice it up cards too a lot. I think those help it out, but I do believe that you need to play the game a couple times before you get to it. And the World's End card here is pretty cool. Actually, I did show it to you, and this is the same card you use to slip it into the deck here. But the World's End card, I like the art on it. I just like the art on this game. I think it's really good. Love the backs of these cards. I think they're really great. This is a very easy family weight game, card game, and really easy to get into and teach people and just get off and start playing. So I do appreciate this game for that. I think that you're going to see a lot of replayability with this game and a lot of fun with this game. This game is just, if you have family and friends over, or even non-gamers here, you can just teach them how to play this game really quickly, have a lot of fun with it. So if you're looking for a great card game to play with friends and family, that's on the lighter weight side, but yet is fun and also has a really strong bluffing element to the game. So if you like bluffing games, this game is definitely going to be for you. I would highly recommend Spicy. And that's my thoughts on it. Thank you for watching.